Today is August 26, 2018. Let's take a look at what the market did and let's see what it might try to do in the coming week here. So let's go back and take a look at a little bit of the performance on the Dow Jones Industrial. Essentially, we're looking for the Dow Jones to come up at this pivot high, take out this pivot high, and then continue to move up and come up and fill this gap and into an all-time high. So right now, as you can see, it's essentially it is still continuing to make its way up. So right now we're essentially still kind of monitoring this Dow Jones Industrial to come up and possibly take out this gap here, fill this gap, and take out this all-time high. And some near-term support level is probably this pivot low right now, and if that can hold, then we'll still be looking at this 24,965 area for potential support. Then looking at the transportation, so you're getting on the transportation. As you can see, transportation, we were basically looking for it to continue to move up and take out this pivot high and then into the new high. So you can see that it did close at a new all-time high on Tuesday. Then Wednesday, Thursday, it kind of pulled back, and on Friday, kind of forming a little bit of an inside bar here. So we're basically going to see we'll be able to hold the support here and then try to make it back up and try to put in another all-time high. But if it's not, there's a possibility that it could come back and retest this 10,977 and change, that level here. And also we got a little bit of a gap that need to be filled on the downside. And looking at the S&P 500, the S&P 500 will also essentially was looking for a potential new high, all-time high, because we're basically looking for this thing to break above this pivot high. And if we break above this pivot high, then we say, then the all-time high will be get tested and possibly put in a new all-time high. So you can see on Friday actually closed with a new all-time closing high here. Then on the Nasdaq 100, the Nasdaq 100 we're also looking for continue to bounce after this little bit of a double bottom, and we're basically looking for this thing to come up. And now we essentially just see would it be able to come up and test the all-time high and put in a new all-time high. If it unable to get up on the to retest the all-time high, then we're essentially looking for a potential pullback on any kind of pullback somewhere down here at this 7308 area for potential support. That basically this little bit of a double bottom here. And then on the Russell 2000, as you can see, the Russell 2000 hit another new all-time high, and we essentially continue to monitor the Russell 2000 and see would it come back and back test this all-time high before we make another move up, because essentially we were looking for this thing to continue to move up and take out the all-time high from last week's previous week price action. Okay, so that's basically the index, and we'll take a look at the some of the momentum stock. Let's take a look at ROKU. ROKU, we were talking about last week, looking for this thing to come up and take out this pivot high, and then continue to move up and possibly move up here to put in a new high. As you can see, it came up and took out this high. So right now, essentially, I got a major move basically using this triangle, this triangle here. Okay. Is essentially my major move is this right here, okay, and essentially move it up from here. All right, so right now it's getting close to the 80% of that major move, and the 100% will be up at this 65.51. Let's take a look at Twitter here. Remember last week we were talking about watching Twitter break above this this trading band here, essentially this upper zone. And once you get to this upper zone, this is one of the negative epochs that we're also monitoring for it to tag. And it appears that's doing what we were basically watching. I see that it broke this zone here, okay, and then kind of back tested a little bit, and then right now it's coming up and tagged this VPOC. So basically still looking forward to maybe move above this VPOC, and next thing is looking at this area here to see would it be able to come back up at this post-earning pivot high here. Then we'll see what the price action is, and eventually we're basically looking for Twitter to fill this this gap here and make it back up to the pre-earning level here. Right, so essentially that's what I'm looking at on Twitter, and as you can see, we essentially got this little bit of a ascending channel, and people could look at this as a bear flag, and it's still gonna happen. You know, it could come down and break this, or even this could be interpreted as a bear flag. So we'll see. I mean, anything is possible, but right now it seems like the momentum is on the upside for Twitter. Now let's look at Alibaba. Alibaba got a reported earning before the market opened on Thursday. As you can see, it's kind of drifted and faded all day long, although it did open with a gap up. But last week we were essentially looking for Alibaba to come back up to this level here and see would it come up to this zone and then kind of tag this zone. So you can see that on the post earning, it did come up to this zone, but unfortunately it's also faded back down. So you can see right now it seems to be trying to get back up above this 176 area, and it is still holding this area here, this particular zone, and that's this low. So if we take a look at the intraday, as you can see, the intraday, we're basically talking about this VPOC. This VPOC was gonna need to be tagged, and also this one here. So as you can see that it came up, tagged this VPOC, and then came back down. So right now it seems to be forming a inside bar here, inside day, from this post-earning engulfing candle. So essentially right now we're still looking at a sort of maybe if it take out this high here, then it could put back a higher high, higher low. So the key thing right now is essentially this level here, this area here, that we need to watch to see would it be able to hold this level. If it come down to this level, then chances are that this level going to get tested, and this zone might also get retested. So that's the thing that we need to keep an eye on to see would it be able to get a bounce back up. Because if we do a composite here on these 2 days, this is basically like a liquidation break. Right? It's a B profile, and let me just take the daily out, so you can see these this 2-day post earning is essentially is a B profile here. So we might get a little bit of a bounce here, and maybe squeeze a little bit of the short down here. Okay, so we'll see. Okay, let's finish off with looking at the VIX. As I said last week on the VIX, we're basically looking for it to continue to pull back into the zone, because we expect the market to continue to move up and tag those all-time high. And although some of the indexes had made a new all-time high last week, but there are still many have yet to make this all-time high, and right now the internal still pointing newer high is coming. So again, I'd be essentially continuing to look for the VIX to pull back and get down to this 11 and possibly into the 10 or the sub 10 area before we start see some kind of spike. So I expect to see the market to continue to move higher. Maybe we will get a little bit of a spike up, and then things will pull back, and maybe that will change this VIX direction by getting a little bit of a spike up. So that's basically what I'm looking at for the coming week, and that's what I'll be watching for. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you are not a subscriber on my YouTube channel, click on the subscribe button to subscribe. And thank you for watching, and good luck on your trading.